let's add to it, not just the virus, but let's add global climate change. I mean, this is thundering down upon us. Anybody with eyes to see who cares about science can look and say that your children are facing a much bleaker world if we don't do something. Certainly your grandchildren. And how can we just pretend that that's not true? So yes, I agree. But let me just say a few things. If you had to pick a time, if you were a baby not yet born and had to pick a time to be born, and you couldn't control where in the world, but only the moment, you couldn't do a better job than pick right now on any objective measure. There's less starvation, there's less violence around the world right now than there was 100 years ago or 200 years ago. I know it's horrific because we're so aware of how horrific it is. We see suffering around the world. You know, if anybody does anything really horrible in the next few minutes, or if they really want to shake the world, they can live stream horror. In our country, where we allow this insane amount of guns, people have put on their GoPro camera and gone in and shot people dead, live streamed to the internet. Okay? That's never happened in the world before. So our exposure to pain and suffering is off the charts. Our advancements in terms of human ability to control things like violence, disease, to extend our lifespan is better now than ever. So you have this paradox of the human condition, that we've been able to bring science and technology to grow more food, to talk thousands of miles away in real time. Think about this, what we're doing right now. It's amazing. You and I are having a conversation. 20 years ago, we couldn't do that. We'd have a hard time getting a phone connection. 100 years ago, it would be impossible. It would take months, or if not weeks, to even say the simplest thing, writing it down on a piece of paper and putting it on a ship. So don't give up on humanity. We have the capacity, but we also have the capacity for evil. We have the capacity for selfishness. We have the capacity for harm. And so I look at what we're doing around the world. I see you wearing a mask. You see me sheltered in place in my home. Do I want to go outside and have fun and take my kids to the lake? Yes, I do. But I'm here. Yeah. Why? Not because I'm afraid, but because I care about others, and I don't want to inadvertently either get or give this terrible disease. So here's my message. You said suffering is universal. I'd actually say it a little different. Pain is universal. Suffering is optional. If by suffering we mean the place in which this is too much or we can't carry it, the metaphor of suffering is underneath carrying. I'd say let's help learn how to put down the weight. Yes, you're going to die. You are. Yes, you will lose your functioning if you live long enough, very likely. You'll certainly lose your friends if you live long enough. You'll see bad things happen. That's going to be painful, yes? But it's not going to crush you if you come into the world and see that your pain links you to your purpose, that your capacity to see suffering in yourself helps you see the needs of others. So knowing that you're going to die asks you to take this moment and live it to the fullest. To bring your whole self to it. Yeah? So I think pain is universal, suffering is actual optional. I think that's an invitation of the mind to say no, when all of our wisdom traditions, spiritual traditions, and deeper clinical traditions are about learning how to say yes. So let's say yes to life, the full embrace of life. That's like a rich soup that includes many flavors, and some of the flavors are loss. Love and loss comes as one thing, it's not two things. When your baby's born, you know, you cry at the sight in part because it's so wonderful and so sweet, and because there's that poignant quality that you know that this little one is going to have to go through the same things you went through. A painful process of learning how to grow. When you watch a wedding and you cry, it's because you see the sweetness of commitment. And if you've been around long enough, you know it's not going to always be that easy. You know, and so it's courageous, yeah. And it brings tears to our eyes because it's not sugar soup. It's